Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the #1 team on PvPoke. This team was absolutely fantastic. I honestly, I was a bit surprised that this team worked out that well, but it went super well. You're going to see, by the way, every single battle that I did with this team here in today's video as well. It's a little bit longer than usual because this team was so amazing to play, and we kind of want to take a little bit of a look at why and how, and I don't know. Basically, we're going to have the lead here of Close Combat Rage Fist Non-Shadow Primeape. And the exact combination is actually quite important for this team because Close Combat is needed for a lot of matchups. And having the non-shadow on it helps you out with a lot of matchups against Pokemon with a lot of fast move pressure, which is really cool. Then we're going to have our Stop, which is going to be Corviknight, a Pokemon we showcased several times, but very shout to the opponent here. They are using one of my teams as well from my video, so viewer of mine most likely because that's a team that I used to legend with early on, like ages ago, a few seasons back, and I tried this team out recently and I had a ton of success, made a video towards it as well, got some good views as well, so thanks all for that support on that video because I honestly enjoyed the team that the opponent is using here a lot as well. But sadly, Primeape just kind of destroys it if you encounter it in the lead. Otherwise, it's actually not a bad matchup at all. But yeah, here we were able to win this game quite easily because of our Primeape. And yeah, our closer here for this team, of course, is going to be the Stunfisk. And the Stunfisk is quite important because we have a lead that's going to be weak to flying type Pokemon. And so we need an answer for flying type Pokemon. And there is not really a better answer than the Stunfisk there. It's such a good Pokemon in the current meta. It has a lot of play and it's very nice and neutral against a lot of the Pokemon as well. And basically, how this team works is Primeape gives you the advantage. Corviknight allows you to transfer your advantage over to the late game, and Stunfisk kind of closes the game out. And this is something that happened so many times, and we saw already in this battle here as well. What we had, Primeape won the lead there, Primeape was able to go for a close combat against the Gastrodon. Really fast close combats allow you to have an early lead against Pokemon that don't resist this move. In general, Primeape has no Pokemon that can resist both of its charge move, which is quite helpful, I would say. But with that, here, Corviknight was able to kind of close out the advantage that we had here already, being assaulted against the final Pokemon, or against the Pokemon that we had before. And now we're going to have here the Scissor against us in the back. This game is, by the way, still not over. It's still actually quite a bit of a closer one here, because we have to catch a move. Luckily, we're going to be able to do that, and with that, it's going to be a guaranteed win. Otherwise, I might have still been able to win. I think I would have been able to still win no matter what, so never mind, I would have won this game no matter what has happened there. I just made it easier for myself. And again, we see the same things happen here again. This time around though, I'm actually forced to stay in. And this time as well, you're going to see why the non-shadow version of the Primeape is a little bit better, I guess, because you're not really pressured by the farm non straight away. And now we have two close combats stored. We're going to have the electric type out of the way so Corviknight doesn't have to deal with it. We have Pokemon that can deal with the Charger Bug here up against them as well with our Stunfisk. We're going to have still the Corviknight against the Toadscour, which you saw already. And so basically, what's going to happen here now is we're going to be able to align ourselves. We are mostly going to get our Stunfisk quite low here because I think we can take 3x's actually with our Pokemon here as they have absolutely zero fast move pressure while still surviving those. And then still going to be able to align our Corviknight against the Toadscour where all the moves are going to be resisted against the Corviknight. And so we are in a perfect position here. We're in an absolutely perfect position even though we had a bit of a tougher lead because now we were able to kind of keep our momentum here going. We're going to have the alignment going now. And now we have two charge moves stored still on our Primeape. And here we're gonna go up actually against one of the worst Pokemon to encounter, the Denny. The Denny is actually alright, of course, for our Stunfisk, but as our Stunfisk is down already, I really have to rely now on my Primeape. And while I'm at +2, the opponent used 2 shields. They were able to get their next defense boost up as well. I have 2 Rages stored now. One Rage is coming through here. It's still at basically +1, doing a lot of damage. I get another one off. The opponent goes down, and with that, we're going to be able to win the battle again. And this is something that's so overpowered about this team and why I like this team so much as well. So again, what did I say? We're going to get the advantage here with our Primeape. In this case, I swap out into the Moltres. I can go for the... Actually, I make it a bit worse here for myself. I should have not played it like this. Here I make a mistake. I decided to swap out into the Stunfisk. There's no reason for that. There's absolutely zero reason for that. What I should have done is I should have stayed in, use the shield on my Primeape, go for a close combat against the Gastrodon, align myself with a Corviknight, and then have my Stunfisk in the back. That's how I should have played the battle here in hindsight. So that's definitely something I would change for the future. But still, funnily enough, Stunfisk is not the worst matchup against Gastrodon. Like, that's something that a lot of people like think, oh, okay, that's going to be such a horrible game because my fast moves are resisted. I'm an electric type against a ground type Pokemon, but as you're gonna see here, it's actually not that bad. We're gonna use a shield here. I should have mostly not done this. I think it's just a body slam, exactly. But I don't know what they have in the back yet, and I kind of want to be prepared for no matter what it's going to be. And so I'm gonna be able to go for the Rage Twist. I'm going to be able to get the KO, and we will see the Talonflame coming in. This is most likely the worst possible Pokemon I can imagine to encounter now. But they're gonna let the move go, and luckily I am going to be able to still get to another Rage Twist here in time, which is forcing the final shield. And now the opponent is at plus, I think, 3 charge moves already, fast moves already, and I wanted to catch the move. It doesn't work out, but they make a big mistake by trying to farm me down. I can even go for the BM move here, and I'm still gonna be able to win this battle. That was closer than it ever needed to be. Again, Primeape gets the early advantage. We are going to be able to get the energy advantage in this case. And with this team, we have actually good answers against Empoleon everywhere. And so for me, I didn't need to stay in there and try to get a shield advantage with my Primeape. There was no point of it. There was absolutely no reason, because I know no matter where the Empoleon is going to go up against, the worst matchup for us is actually against this Pokemon that we currently have in, that's going to soak up all the damage from the opponent's Dragonair against our Corviknight. It's actually the worst matchup for us, for the Empoleon. And so what I can do now is I can swap out, force them out. I don't go for a charge move because I knew the opponent very likely is going to swap out of here. And I need to kind of keep my energy for whatever they have in the back and see what they have in the back first. And so here we're going to get out the Altaria. Altaria is not going to be the biggest fan of the Rage Twist spam here, and so we can go ahead and go for a shield here actually, because I need to get rid of this Pokemon a little bit. The Sky Attack comes in, I tried to swap out, but then I decided, actually, my best play is to just go for the Rage Twist spam. I'm going to be able to get the first shield here. I'm going to be able to keep on Rage Twist for later on, just in case the Empoleon is low enough for that, or I need it for the Altaria. But as you can see, the opponent is going to decide to stay in here for quite a bit longer than I expected. They're running Dragon Pulse, a move that also recently got buffed. But the Discharge is going to be enough to knock them out. But we see here as well already, I am going to be able to go for that move now. I am going to be able to go ahead and get that shield from the opponent. I still have my own shield left. And with that, I don't think there's anything the opponent can do here to change the direction of this game, because they have another charge move stored. This might not be enough to knock them out. It's getting close though. I still have a Rage stored. I still have my 2 other Pokemon left. There's nothing I can do here. There's absolutely nothing I can do. And so I'm just gonna go for the Corviknight for a farm because it's faster, and we can move on to the next opponent. Or we will face off against the Marowak. And again, we don't need to keep our lead alive here. It's not an A-B-B style line. So like, it's cool that we have the Primeape there. It's cool that especially we have a Prime now with a ton of energy, but we don't need it. Here, I do think I make a little bit of a mistake. We know already they have the Marowak there in the lead, and this means I should have very likely used my Stunfisk here now in order to have a at least neutral matchup for this Pokemon, instead of hoping and praying that I gonna get alignment again and get the Marowak down. But as the opponent decides to use a shield here now on their Corsola, actually 2 shields on the Corsola, I'm actually feeling a little bit better about the situation, because now, all of a sudden, the Stunfisk is definitely not going to align itself against it. Here, I make a big mistake. I make a ginormous mistake, a mistake that I didn't need to do. I didn't need to shield there. I tried to be like, I'm just going to knock them out here really quick with my Corviknight. I didn't do that either. And so now I'm in a position where I just going to go for close combat here, by the way. Little trick for you as well, for at home to try and do as well. Against a 3-turn fast move user, if you have a 2-turn fast move, and you know that the opponent doesn't get to a move, and you know that the opponent it's just not going to be close to that, and you just got to knock them out with your charge move afterwards anyway, go for 2 fast moves instead of 1. 1 is ideal for denying the fast move from the opponent, but if you go for 2, the fast move of the opponent goes through, but the damage never applies, and as the opponent goes down afterwards, the damage is also never going to apply afterwards for you, so you just get a free fast move with all the extra energy with it, which can be helpful. In this case, I do feel like I can scoot this game up on myself. Like, I don't think I needed to play it like this. I think I had a very easy win con here. If I just put everything onto my Primeape, I would have won this battle immediately. I didn't, and with that, I lose this battle, and that's down to me. And that is definitely a misplay by me there. And that's alright. That is alright. This stuff happens. Here, another matchup where it's actually kind of nice to have the non-shadow Primeape, because the matchup against Stunfisk is going to be quite a bit easier for us. We're going to be able to take those hits, but we're also going to be able to go for those close combats in order to do a ton of damage against them. As you see here, shield is coming up. That's alright. We're going to be able to shield up as well. This is going to be the Mud Bomb. This is going to be the Togekiss coming in. And I've found actually quite a lot of Togekiss. And here is where I wish that Discharge would get a +5 damage boost. Like, this is literally where Discharge, if it has +5 damage, would make such a difference. Discharge is pretty much a garbage move. But if you had +5, yes, you would have still got this move against you, which is alright. They're gonna get a lot of damage in against me, but I cannot farm them down in time. This is like the issue. Look at this. Like, they're surviving with 1 HP, forcing me to go for a charge shield here. That's not ideal for us at all. But yeah, we're going to have the Mud Bomb now coming through against the opponent's Stunfisk, and at least we're going to be able to do the most amount of damage here. We're going to be able to go for another charge move there. This is going to allow us to even getting close to the knockout range. And I tried to snipe them over the Corviknight, the sub onto the Ferret, which is generally speaking a very good matchup for Corviknight as well. I will go for the Air Cutter spam here because Air Cutter is just going to be a move that allows us to, like, as long as I still have shields, it just makes more sense to do it like this. And as you will see as well, we're going to have, you know, the charge move coming through. It is going to be another Air Cutter. This is going to be getting the shield this time around as well. And they try to go for another charge move, but again, like, they don't have anything to hit us with. I like Ferret, but Ferret is quite a bit of a bad Pokemon against us here. But I misplay because I try to stop out of there. Now I can go for the close combat. That's alright for me. But as we will see here as well, this is going to be all a bit awkward. And we're going to still be able to win the battle though. Dusknoir really is a Pokemon that has a lot of, I don't know, like it's rising up quite a bit recently. So, as you're gonna see here, we're going to have the Corviknight, we're going to have the shield coming up as well. This is going to be interesting as you're gonna have now the Corviknight coming in there again. We're gonna have the payback coming through. This is going to be something, yeah, that's going to be a bit awkward because I would have liked to, of course, have the Corviknight against our Stunfisk. Stunfisk is the main answer for the Corviknight from the opponent. Here we have like a matchup. I don't like the Corviknight mirror matchup. I think it's just kind of stupid, but like I can stop out of here at least, get a little bit of an energy lead. They're very likely going to stop out straight away after this charge move anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But let's see here, payback coming in. In comes the Credilli. That is going to be alright. We can try to go for the Mud Bomb spam there. This is going to allow us to get some nice damage in against them. But as you see as well, the next Mud Bomb is coming through. This is going to, yeah, force the damage in against them. We're kind of, like, this is the thing as well about this game. I feel like I'm always kind of a little bit behind towards the opponent, which is kind of a bit bad there. But as you see, we're on a user shield here. This is going to be the Grass Knot coming through, and we're going to have now the Dusknoir coming back in. But Dusknoir is going to still have a shield left, has the fast move pressure. We got stop out here. We can still go for charge move though with our Air Cutter Corviknight, which is interesting because the opponent lets the move go here. They still have their own shield left. But again, we are so kind of far behind. I don't think there's really a way of us winning this battle here. As long as I play it correctly, there's no way of us winning this battle. And so, yeah, we're going to have the Air Cutter coming through. It's not going to get the damage done. We're luckily actually going to get another Air Cutter off here, which again, the opponent had a charge move here already, but I guess they go up to 100 energy, so I have moves for both of my Pokemon. I stop out, and they stop out. There was no reason for that. They had enough energy to knock me out there with their Corviknight. They would have won this battle instantaneously there as well, but they decided to stop out, and with that, we are going to be able to get the KO, and we can move on to the next opponent. So, let's take a look here. This is going to be, yeah, quite nice. You're going to have here the Rachels coming through, allowing us to get, yeah, at least some nice shield stuff from the opponent. It's going to be something where they have to guess is going to be close combat, is not. I want to go for the close combat here. I should have went for the close combat here because then I would have had just such a clean sweep. The thing is, they are forced to stop out of here now because otherwise they get farmed down. They don't want to have that done to themselves. And they're going to go into the Charger Bug. I'm going to overfarm. I'm going to get some damage in against them. Why? Because I feel like that makes the most amount of sense because it's now putting them into a Mud Bomb range. Before a 1 Mud Bomb, like 2 Mud Bombs are actually not enough to knock out the opponent there anyway, and I was able to even catch the Discharge here, which is fantastic because it didn't do any damage against us. And so for this matchup, what I need to do is I have to get up basically to 100 energy all the time. This will allow me to get to my next charge move very fast, and with us knowing what they have in the back already, it's kind of nice to have the charge move pressure there. But now we see the Diggersby, and Diggersby is a problem. Diggersby is a proper problem. But Diggersby might not expect that I have close combat, and they had a shield left. I don't know why they did this, but yeah, good game there. That was it for this one. Now against 9Alfie2, someone who got, I think, 2nd place in the Frankfurt Regional, where I was casting as well. Shouts to you. Honestly, casting was so much fun for me. I can't wait to be back for that, hopefully, eventually as well. I'm not too sure, like, I have no idea if I'm ever going to be back or whatever. But I had a lot of fun. That's all I want to say for that one. Frankfurt was a blessing. I loved it to commentate. Hopefully you had a great time there as well. I loved your gameplay, by the way, as well. Alfie, you did a great job there with your Togekiss, Gastron Core, the Charizard on your team. There was so much hype moments in this regional. I just enjoyed it so much. Anyway, we see the catch here on the Credilli. That means it is time for Primeape to show why Primeape is here on this team. It's here to one-shot Pokemon like Credilli, get them out of here, get the KO. And as you can see as well, we are going to have the opponent being up into the Corsola, which is interesting. This is going to allow us to get a little bit of damage onto them. And we see here as well, the Ferret guy comes back in. I'm going to go to my Stunfisk, trying to get them a little bit lower, but I'm not too sure if this is going to actually work out for us. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon coming in. It's actually going to help us perfectly, because the Hydro Cannon did knocked us out here. We were able to put them into farmland range, and with that, the opponent forfeits here. Good game there. I think I battled Alfie actually twice, and I beat them twice as well. Of course, it has nothing to do with like E-skill or anything like this. Like at the end of the day, Go Battle League is a random format. Like you can have great team comps or whatever. I think I still did my best there in this battle, and we can move on now to the next one, where we will face a Charjabug. Charjabug is going to be interesting. Charjabug is going to be a Pokemon that we are going to try, to beat here hopefully soon. I want to shield this move up there as well. Exer is coming in. We're going to have here now the Rage Fist coming through. This is going to allow us to get the shield up. That's perfect. We can try to go for another Rage Fist, but the opponent goes for the KO here, and that's alright. I'm totally happy with that, because what we have now is a position where you can hopefully even farm them down here, but now I see Thundershock is barely doing any damage, so most are going to not work out that well. I could try to catch even another move, but I'm like thinking, yeah, it's better to just go for a Mud Bump, get the KO. At the end of the day, both of us don't have shields, which is going to be something that is quite important. We're going to have the Marowak coming in here now as well, and now we're going to have a lot of pressure against them. Marowak doesn't really enjoy our charges, but now in comes Dewgong. A lot of people are running Dewgong currently, and I think it's a really smart... It's honestly a really smart way of doing things, because I think like it's just a bulky Pokemon. It has a lot of play, and honestly, like you see already, Discharge. That's why I, by the way, don't like Discharge at all as a move. I wish that Stunfisk just has a little bit of a buff there towards Discharge, because like it just barely does anything. Like that was a super effective hit, stab hit against a Dewgong, like against a water type Pokemon, and does not even like 40%. That's kind of ridiculous. And with that, we're sadly gonna lose this battle here. Good game there. There was nothing I could have done this battle. Like the other battle that we lost so far, I was definitely the one that lost it, but I felt like this one wasn't. And so I think we only lost 2 battles so far. I'm fairly certain it's only 2, but we see on what's going to happen next. It's going to be here the Togekiss. Aurasphere is coming in. I think I went 10-2 with this team. I think I did. But if I'm wrong with that or whatever, it's either 10-2 or 9-3. You see all the battles I did with this team here in this video. That's why it's a little bit long as well. I might just do it. Like, if you enjoy more longer videos, then please let me know down below. Like, I, of course, can do that all the time. I just try to focus on like 15-minute video format. But I can, of course, also make them a little bit longer, like this one, which is like close to 20 minutes. If that's something that you enjoy more, where you see a little bit more matchups towards the team, to see like a little bit more on how to play it in which situation, then I would like to do that as well, of course, for you. Anyway, we were staying in here with our Stunfisk because we know for sure we are going to be able to force them to go for a charge move, because otherwise they're going to go down. And now we're going to see here the Drillbur coming through from the opponent. They have still a lot of energy stored though, and they decide to stay in here as well and go for another move. And I'm alright with it. I have a ton of energy on my Pokemon now stored as well. And I felt like it was a bit of a waste to go for the move there, but I make a big mistake. I should have went ahead and just went for my charge move straight away. And with that, I'm fairly certain I lost this game. I'm fairly certain I lost this game because, like, at this point, the opponent's just going to have so much energy. If I just went for a Rage Twist and one fast move earlier, I would have got a Rage Twist and a close combat off. This would have allowed me to get both shields from the opponent, would have allowed me to get the KO there basically straight away, and I would have not had to worry about anything. Like this, I need to kinda try to force the opponent to swap out, and I did this here. They tried to catch, it didn't work out. As long as I need 2 more packs, I actually still win this battle here, which I don't deserve to win, and they even let the move go, allowing me to win this last one here. So yeah, I think it was a 10-2 with this team. Hopefully you enjoyed the one. Top team out on PvPoke, and I will see you then. Bye bye.